Hello, Doctor. Me, Rola Tarhini, and my colleague Fatima Loubany will introduce to you and discuss the topic of Francis Bacon and the philosophy of science. Here is our table of contents. First, we will start with a brief introduction, moving into the background, moving to Bacon's contributions, then takeaway messages, a reflection, and ending with a conclusion. To start with, Francis Bacon was a key figure in the transition from medieval to modern science. He emphasized the importance of empirical evidence and experimentation in scientific inquiry, challenging the prevailing Aristotelian views that relied heavily on authority and theoretical reasoning. Bacon's contributions not only shaped the scientific method, but also influenced broader philosophical and cultural developments during the Enlightenment. Moving now to the background or the historical content. During Bacon's time, Aristotelianism dominated scientific thought, emphasizing theoretical knowledge over empirical evidence. This approach relied on authority and reason rather than observation. Bacon challenged this by promoting a new approach based, based on observation and experimentation, marking a significant shift in how science was conducted. This change was crucial for the development of modern science, as it moved away from dogmatic thinking towards a more empirical and inductive methods. Now, the influence of Aristotelianism. Aristotelian philosophy had a profound influence on scientific thought during Bacon's era. It emphasized theoretical reasoning and authority over empirical data. Bacon sought to replace this with a method that emphasized induction and experimentation. By doing so, he aimed to create a more reliable and practical approach to scientific inquiry, one that would lead to tangible improvements in human life. Moving on to Bacon's contributions. In his work, The Advancement of Learning, published in 1605, Bacon surveyed existing knowledge to identify areas needing improvement. This marked the beginning of his project to reform traditional learning by emphasizing empirical methods. The work highlighted the need for a systemic approach to scientific inquiry, laying the groundwork for his later, more comprehensive proposals for scientific reforms. Now, moving on to Francis Bacon's contributions, Novum Organum. In Novum Organum, published in 1620, Bacon outlined his new scientific method, emphasizing empirical observation and the formulation of hypotheses through induction. This work became a foundational text for modern scientific inquiry, focusing on practical applications. Bacon also introduced the concept of ideals to critique prevailing biases in scientific thought, further refining his approach to ensure objectivity and rigor. Now, my colleague Fatima will continue.
with the Great Instauration and Francis Bacon's contributions. So Bacon envisioned a great instauration of science, aiming to create a comprehensive system of knowledge based on empirical principles. His approach focused on the practical application of science to improve human life, as we know. The goal was to unite knowledge and action to benefit society, reflecting Bacon's belief that science should serve humanity by addressing real world problems. Moving on to the key away messages. The key takeaways from Bacon's philosophy that include his emphasis on empiricism, which transformed scientific inquiry by focusing on empirical evidence. He also advocated for the separation of science and theology, ensuring that scientific inquiry remained independent of religious doctrine. Additionally, Bacon stressed the importance of practical applications, believing that science should serve humanity by improving daily life. And now moving on to the reflection of Bacon's empiricism. To start with, the first one, which is Bacon's empiricism. Bacon's advocacy for empiricism redefined the way we approach scientific inquiry. Like by emphasizing observation and experimentation, he shifted the focus from the theoretical speculation to the practical evidence. However, it's also important to recognize that the pure observation is not enough. It must be combined with inductive reasoning to yield meaningful insights. So this approach has been instrumental in driving like the scientific progress, as it also ensures that theories are grounded in reality. And now concerning Bacon's critique of authority. Bacon's critique of authority, particularly the Aristotelianism, marked a significant shift in scientific thought. By challenging established knowledge, he paved the way for a more empirical and critical approach to science. His engagement with skepticism further underscores his commitment to questioning prevailing views and promoting a more nuanced understanding of knowledge. So, this critique of authority has been invaluable in fostering a culture of critical thinking where scientists are encouraged to question assumption and seek evidence-based truths. And now concerning the Bacon's vision for science, Bacon's vision for science was like forward thinking. His concept of the great instauration, as I mentioned, aimed to reform science by grounding its empirical evidence and the practical applications. This vision was not about advancing knowledge, but also about using science to improve human life, as I mentioned. And Bacon's utopian vision, as depicted in the New Atlantis, highlights his optimism and like about science's potential to create a better world. Now, in my opinion, while Francis Bacon's contributions of philosophy and science are undeniable, our opinion is that his approach also has several limitations. One critique is that his emphasis on empirical observation and experimentation, though groundbreaking, can sometimes overlook the role of like the theoretical frameworks and guiding scientific inquiry. Additionally, Bacon's critique of authority, particularly in the Aristotelianism, was crucial for advancing empirical methods, but it also led to a dismissal of valuable philosophical insights from earlier thinkers. Furthermore, Bacon's vision for the utopian society and the new Atlantis might be seen overly optimistic, as it underestimates the complexities of human nature and societal dynamics. Despite what I have said, Bacon's legacy remains significant, and his ideas continue to shape scientific method and inspire a critical thinking in scientific research. Moreover, in our opinion, is that while Bacon's empiricism laid to the foundation of modern science, it's equally important to balance the empirical methods with theoretical insights and societal considerations to ensure that scientific progress is both grounded and beneficial to humanity. And now, as a conclusion, Francis Bacon's contributions to the philosophy of science have been profound. shaping modern scientific inquiry and its applications. His legacy continues to influence how we approach scientific research today, till now, emphasizing empirical methods and practical outcomes. So, Bacon's work remains a cornerstone of scientific philosophy, guiding future generations of scientists and underscoring the importance of empirical evidence and the practical applications in scientific inquiry. Thank you, Doctor, and hope you liked our presentation and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Doctor, for your efforts, and we hope you enjoyed our presentation.